Okay, this short video for FormIt is going to give us a little bit of help in terms of creating not just your perspective views from FormIt, but some orthographic views, plans, sections, and elevations. So really quickly, to do this, one of the key tools that we're going to be using is our scenes, and we're also going to be using a section plane to help build these different views. Okay, so first let's look at creating a plan view. So I'm just going to add a new view to my scene, and I'm going to name it plan. And I'm going to switch my views right here. And if you don't have this, you can simply go to Window and the View toolbar, turn that on, and you will actually see your views pop up there. Those should be on your side, but if they're not, that's where you can find those additional tools. Or I believe there's another view drop-down list right here, and you can switch top view and turn perspective and orthographic on and off in this drop-down list. I'm just going to be using this tool set right here. So I'm going to go to my top view. And if you notice, this is still in perspective, which is kind of cool and at times could work for a plan view, but typically we want that in orthographic projection. So I'm going to switch that to orthographic, and you can already see I'm getting kind of a decent looking plan view now, but this is from all the way top down. It's not looking at it in terms of seeing a cut plane cutting through the building, looking down at that approximate 4-foot height. So before I do anything else, I want to save this view. So anytime I switch to my other views, I can immediately pan right back to my plan view. Cool. So, and the next thing I need to do is set a section plane up. So you can see I've got all these windows through here, this curtain wall here, I've got another door here and a door here. I should be seeing all those things in my floor plan if I'm cutting the floor plan, if I'm drawing that floor plan correctly. So we need to come to, I'm actually going to show this in a 3D view so that we can see things coming together a little bit easier. I'm going to go to View, and I am going to turn on my section plane. So Create Section Plane. The first thing it's going to ask me to do is what view do I want to create. So if I want to create a typical architectural section, I might hover over a wall and then slide this through the building. But in this case, I actually want to create this just on the ground plane. So I'm just going to select some place right here on the ground surface. And this tool is going to basically find all of my geometry. And in this case, it is going to cut all of it because it has put that section cut on the ground plane. And I don't have any geometry below my ground plane. So I'm just going to tap the Escape button. And then I'm going to select that ground plane section, or the section cut plane that is on the ground plane. And I'm going to move it up to, let's put it right at, I'm going to use my tab key, 5 feet. Okay, so you can see it's cutting just above the mullions here. Typically I would put it on 4 feet, but I've walked through this before and I know that it's actually cutting right in the mullions, so the curtain wall doesn't read very well. But I'm starting now to see this little model as a plan view. Okay, so now when I double click back to my plan, I will still have that section. I need to go into my layer guide and turn off the section indicator while keeping the plan on. And then I'm going to go back to my scenes, select plan, and refresh. And so now any view that I go to, when I snap back to plan, it's going to remember that. Now there's a few additional things that you'll notice, like I don't have a door in here yet. And at times, I can just come in and really quickly draw in my door. I'm just going to draw a line coming this direction, and then I'm going to draw my arc. Now, I just drew it backwards. Oh, I never remember how to draw these things. There we go. And bring my arc coming across. So I can start building those things, and typically I would want to select those and group them so that I can select it again, right click, copy, right click, paste, Well, apparently I selected the entire wall. There we go. Right click, copy, right click, paste. And then I can simply position that wherever I might need to. Let's just rotate that around. Well, where's my rotate function at? There we go. That object, rotate. Just like that. So as you get the hang of moving those things around, it's pretty easy to do and pretty quick to get them all put together. So the next thing that we might want to do is add a second view in. I can name this elevation. So again, I'm going to use my view directives right here, switch that to my elevation view. If you notice, in this view, I have my section cut still active, so I'm not seeing anything from that 5 foot mark up. So pretty simple to fix. I'm going to go to my layers. I'm going to turn off the section cut so that I can see the rest of the project. I'm going to go back to my view and refresh that. And let's see here. For some reason, I'm not seeing that front piece. So I'm going to change this to a perspective view. South elevation. Let's just make sure my camera is far enough back when I set this view up this time. And then when I change that to an orthographic projection, I will see that as an orthographic projection elevation. I was actually cutting into the building last time because the camera was actually on the inside. So switching out to the perspective view and then back to orthographic, making sure those things are positioned correctly will get that taken care of for you. So from here, I'm simply going to select elevation and record everything about that scene. So that way I can toggle through each one of these pieces and have them all ready for output from